So hi, good afternoon and welcome everyone. My name is Linda Evenden. I am a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company. This is one of our favourite events. We call it Girls Just Want to Have Funs. Ain't that the truth? I certainly found myself with 3 young kids under 3.5 at home, one income, doing mum care instead of daycare, going a little crazy, feeling a little isolated and overrun by the wiggles way back when. So I was definitely on the hunt for a way that I could feel connected, still use my business now, be surrounded by incredible women. That's what I was really craving and missing the most. And when it can be something that you're passionate about, that really lights you up and fills you up. And I always believed that when you're up to good things and you're aligned and living in your values, the money comes. And so I was really on the search for that and holding out hope for that. So like many others who find themselves in a similar situation or unhappy with, the full-time grind, kind of asking, is this it? I did start looking for other work from home and flexible opportunities, filling out surveys and being a mystery shopper. And I went down so many crazy garden paths that I almost gave up hope. And then my beautiful friend extended an invitation to take a closer look with her at what she was up to. And I saw her having the time of her life. I saw her traveling, going to conferences, dressing up in ball gowns, creating a team. I didn't even know you could create a team. And suddenly she was showing me all the things that I didn't even know that I was missing in life. So I just am honoured and privileged to have this time with you today to kind of dream a little and see what if this could be a fit for you? What if this actually works? And so I get to introduce one of my great friends. The thing I love the most about this whole venture of working from home is you get to choose who you spend your time with. You get to really choose who you get to hang out with. And so many people that I've met through this business, I now get to call just some of the most amazing friends on the planet for me. Kristine Drummond, who I'm about to introduce, being one of them. So I met Kristine when she had a newborn baby. She was in the same boat. She was a personal trainer at the time. She was so sick of getting up at 5 a.m. boot camps, dragging her sweet sleeping baby out to the freezing cold beach. And the grind, the struggle was real, right? So, we really linked arms and we created a bigger vision for ourselves and certainly each other and a giant tribe ever since the 5 years that we've been working together. So Kristine is going to, who better? Her passion is just off the charts when you get to hear her talk about food as medicine, real original food, God's garden food. Sometimes she gets on her high horse and starts this at us and we just kind of go, oh my God, I've got to eat better. Let's see what mood she's in today. We never know. I'm unmuting you. And now I'm pinning you, honey. So Kristine, can you share with us a little bit of your passion about, regaining our best health and vitality?
I would love to. Thank you, Linda. And I'm not sure if many of you are aware that in Australia, every hour, 5 people die from cancer. And every hour in Australia, one man dies from heart disease. Now, what you probably don't know about those statistics is that 66% of cancers are preventable and 80% of heart disease is preventable. It's simply through the lifestyle choices, the stress that we're exposing ourselves to, the decisions that we're making on a daily basis that's causing us to become one of those statistics. And my wish for you is that you don't end up one of those statistics. And I started my crusade about 7 years ago when I decided to dedicate my life to improving the life of others through health and wellness. And I became a personal trainer 10 years ago because I've always wanted to help people, but there was a pivotal moment in my life that changed everything for me. And it was when I was going through IVF in a previous life with my ex-husband, and we tried for 7 years to have children, and just anything we did, nothing worked. And, you know, we went down the whole IVF track. Now, at the same time as me going through IVF, my mum was going through breast cancer, very aggressive breast cancer, and it was the worst time in her life. And I couldn't be there with her. The doctors wouldn't allow me to travel to be with my mum. And it broke my heart. And not one doctor spoke to either me or my mum about nutrition, what we were putting in our bodies, what we were exposing our bodies to, the level of stress that we were under. I was working in a corporate role 24/7, and it was one of the most stressful times of my life. So of course I wasn't creating an environment where a baby could be grown. So fast forward, I made the decision to change my health, change my lifestyle, and I moved to the Gold Coast, and things just started to get better from there. And I was introduced to Juice Plus when I was a personal trainer on the Gold Coast, and I could see what people were eating on a daily basis. I could see that they weren't getting enough fruits and vegetables in. I could see their inflamed bodies. I could see the pain they were living in every single day. Now, don't get me wrong, if you come and see me, I can give you a good butt whooping with a great workout, and I can get you really fit, but I'm also doing more damage to your body, and if you're not going home and replacing and repairing it with the right micronutrition. And that's what Juice Plus allowed me to do. Not only kick my client's butt, but also repair it at the same time. And that's what I love about it. It's simple, affordable, smart, fast food. And if you're out there and you think that exercising is the way to weight loss and feeling good and doing all that, yes, it has its place, but nutrition is where it's at, guys. Nutrition, mindset, mindfulness, you're hearing all these words pop out now, you know, meditations and things like that. That's way more important than going to flog your body at the gym, okay? So for me, you can see the products here, 30 vine-ripened fruits, veggies and berries in a beautiful vegan capsule form. It's basically things that rainbow of color and things that you just aren't getting in your system on a daily basis. Now, I'm not going to run through the 30 fruits and veggies that are in it, but I know for a fact that only 5% of you are getting the recommended daily intake of fruits and veggies. So this doesn't replace it. It simply just bridges the gap. And what it's been known to do is reduce inflammation in your body. It reduces the oxidative stress that's caused through the exercise and the stress that you're exposed to on a daily basis. It helps detox, so reduce a lot of the toxins that are built up in your body. It helps with your digestive system. It helps with your heart health by reducing the restriction on your arteries, especially after high-fat meals and things like that. And it helps with your skin. So it's anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, and all those beautiful things. So that's why I love the capsules. Super, super simple. Then we've got these amazing omegas, which are the good fats, the essential fatty acids. A lot of people take fish oils and, you know, krill oils. This one is totally plant-based, another beautiful vegan product that is great for your nervous system and helps you get those essential fatty acids in that your body needs to survive, guys. Not just survive, but also thrive. Then we've got these amazing whole food powders, which you can have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or morning tea, afternoon tea. You can turn them into pancakes, whatever you like. They're absolutely delicious. Another vegan product, you know, jam-packed with lots and lots of good macronutrition, the perfect ratio. And then the other thing that we've got, when an adult gets on our capsules, we've actually got a chewable version for our kids. So any child between 4 and 18 can get on Juice Plus and flood their bodies every single day with 17 fruits and veggies for free for up to 4 years. Okay, that's right, you heard me. 4 years you get 17 fruits and veggies into a child between 4 and 18 every single day, which is amazing. Now, my 2 kids have been on the capsule since they were 4 months old. I just put it in their, you know, in their food, or they just eat it with a spoon these days. And it's been instrumental in providing a beautiful, nutritious foundation for them. They don't crave the sugary, salty foods. They crave fruits and vegetables. And I love that. And as a mum, it gives me peace of mind knowing that I'm helping their development, knowing that I'm boosting boosting their immune system, and I'm making them healthier and happier and giving them the best start to life. So I'm not going to go on any more about it. I'm going to hand it over for a couple of stories. And Linda, I totally forgot who the first story was that I was supposed to be sharing.
It's Steph Bell. Here she is. Awesome. Brows and eyelashes totally on point, this girl. Does Juice Plus help us with those?
Sure, it helps your hair grow, so why not?
Awesome, Steph. We'd love to hear your story.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Okay, so Juice Plus, everyone always says this, but it's hand on my heart, it's so true. Juice Plus changed my world. Before Juice Plus, I bounced in and out of hospital for about 5 years. On horrible medications, steroids and immunosuppressants and everything. I have a disease called ulcerative colitis, which, if you don't know what that is, it's totally fine. It's kind of like Crohn's disease. So it's a bowel disease and it's embarrassing and no one talks about it because, you know, it's one of those taboo things, which is fair enough. But I was really suffering. No medicine was working for me. Every single time I'd be put into hospital for kind of like weeks at a time, I would be put on steroids and I'd put on 10 kilos. Like I'd be in hospital for 2 weeks and I'd come out 10 kilos heavier, and I'd look in the mirror and I'd be like, who is that person? That's not me. And I lost myself in that time. At kind of the end of it, the last time I was in hospital, the surgeon came in. I still get a bit emotional talking about this. The surgeon came in with the stoma nurse and said, "We're really sorry, but there's no other options for you." And the stoma nurse, you know, showed me the pamphlet. I was really lucky. My specialist didn't want to give up on a 25-year-old girl. So he put me on like a chemotherapeutic drug to help me kind of shock my body into remission. And it worked, but about 4 months later, my symptoms were starting to come back. And obviously I panicked. I knew I didn't want that surgery and I didn't want to live my life with a stoma bag. I mean, I knew if I had to, I would cope, but it wasn't a choice that I was going to willingly make. And I had overhauled my diet. I had tried acupuncture and naturopaths, and I thought I had tried everything. And so when a friend reached out to me about Juice Plus, if I'm honest with you, I laughed at her. I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, I have a green smoothie for breakfast and veggies for dinner and a salad for lunch. Like, that's not going to help me. I've tried everything. And she just said to me, okay, but if you're desperate, you know that there's something that could help. I know that it's helped ulcerative colitis in the past. And honestly, I was desperate. I was, running to the bathroom 15, 20 times a day. And I had really bad arthritis and chronic fatigue, which are all symptoms. So I tried Juice Plus, and within 2 weeks, I could straighten my fingers and wear rings again. The arthritis had gone in my hands. Within 3 weeks, I had energy, no more chronic fatigue. And the best part was in about the 6-week mark, my bowel started to heal itself. I was empowering my own body to heal itself. So instead of, 15 times a day, it was like once, twice a day. I was like, this is how normal people live their lives. It's incredible. I was lucky enough to have 2 years medicine free from all the immunosuppressants and all the horrible drugs that I was on. I was able to travel again. I spent 3 months backpacking Africa and the Middle East. Unfortunately, I picked up a bug there and it kind of set off all my symptoms again. And so I'm kind of in a flare at the moment. But what's different this time is I feel so empowered with my health journey that I know I can heal myself again because I've got this incredible nutritional product in my corner, and I just don't fear my health anymore. And for me, that's a game changer. So I'm going to hand back to Kristine. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, Steph, I love your story, honey. Wow, what a journey you've had. I love the verbiage you had around it, where you feel so empowered around your health now. That's the gift we get to give everyone on a daily basis, which I really love that you've just run with that gift, and now you're out there inspiring others, which is amazing. Mon, I'm going to ask you to take yourself off mute, honey, and share your story with us when you're ready.
Okay.
We can hear you. Go ahead. Yep, I did it. No, now she's not. Hang on.
How's that?
Better. Go for it.
Thank you, guys. Okay, thanks, Steph, for your powerful story. My gosh. I've got another one. So about 3 years ago, Juice Plus came into my life because when my son was 17, I nearly lost him. So I've got to try not to get too emotional here. Drags up some old wounds, but he went septic. He was misdiagnosed by our local hospital, and he caught a superbug, and he was the only case of his kind in the world. So they didn't know how to treat him. So he was quite a guinea pig. And that was just terrifying. He had a stint in ICU. They didn't expect him to make it through the night. He had a month in hospital. And the drugs that they had him on, keeping him alive, the nurses would, they'd be like, why is he on this? Why is he on this? And it was so strong, they had to deliver it through a PICC line straight into his veins, because it's too much for his stomach to handle. This actually destroyed his gut health. So they told me he had no immunity. This affected his mental health immensely. I watched this kid break before my eyes. And when we came home, and the PICC line was removed, he was then put on orals, and he was on 2,000 milligrams a day of a very strong antibiotic. So for those who aren't familiar, the average person when they get sick who has a course of antibiotics is probably on 20 milligrams a day to 40. My son was on 2,000 a day. So he had to take them at 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock at night. And so the head of infectious disease was telling me I couldn't even put him on probiotics because they wouldn't survive long enough in his body to help him. And they were telling us the best possible chance he had was to eat clean. And I had this 17-year-old boy who didn't want to eat clean. So it was a very, very stressful journey. So basically at breaking point, I remember him saying to me that he wished he died on the operating table because he didn't feel he was living. He was watching his friends all turn 18. He couldn't go to the parties. He felt like his friends were neglecting him. He couldn't drink, he couldn't go out. Anyway, at that point, I thought we have to try and do something. And I'm not going to go into how Juice Plus came into my life, but I'm a big believer in synchronicity, and I just started him on these products. I remember my partner saying, oh, you're wasting your money. Like, how are these little capsules going to help him in any way? If so, the doctors would have put him on them, right? Yeah, right. Anyway, I didn't even ask permission. I thought, it's real whole food. How the hell can it not help him? They haven't restricted his diet in any way. So I did my research. I wasn't going to put anything in his body that was going to harm him in any way. And I kid you not, one of the things that we did to save him, because he was just giving up hope, was we let him have a puppy. We thought it would give him something to love and look after. And we all know the therapy of fur babies. And it got to a point where he was even starting to ignore her and not even be fussed about her. And he'd only been on the products for 3 weeks when there was a complete 360 shift in his mental health. So he literally walked in the door one night and he used to just go straight to his room. He'd hide in his room. He wouldn't talk to us. He wouldn't eat with us, nothing. And it just broke my heart, but I wasn't going to nag him either. Sorry, I'm snotting. Anyway, so basically he walked in the door and he's like, where's my Nunu? And he started playing with her on the floor, and he sat and ate tea with us, and he was talking to us. And this was like 3 weeks on the products. And I remember he went and showered, and I just burst into tears. And I said to my daughter, like, oh my God, that's our old Bay coming back. Like, I couldn't believe it. And the exciting thing about this story is, he's great now, by the way, everyone, don't worry. But the exciting thing is he was on a 2-year treatment plan with the hospital. And so he was being monitored every 6 to 8 weeks for 2 years, and he was having MRIs every 12 weeks. Now, I was told that after 2 years, we'd wait and see where he was, and that he'd most likely have to pop a drug, like 1 antibiotic pill every day for the rest of his life. And I was not okay with that. And he'd been on the products about 6 weeks at his 16-month checkup. And they bloody cleared us. Like, they actually cleared us at 16 months. And even though it's what we'd wanted all along, I freaked out because for 16 months I had the constant reassurance of the blood tests and the MRIs that, because, you know, this bug could have come back and killed him. And it was reassurance. So for them to clear us at 16 months, I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? But anyway, he has not looked back. We haven't had to see any doctors in regards to that issue since that 16-month clearance mark. My quick story, I won't keep you long, but because of that journey, I ended up with PTSD and adrenal fatigue just from the stress of it all and just trying to be everyone's rock and hiding it all from the world. And my doctor told me I was really at breaking point. I would leave the supermarket, like I'd see someone I knew and I'd run and leave my food in the middle of the aisle because people were asking about Bay, and I would just break down. And I thought I was going crazy. I was crying every day, and I went on the products. And after the 5-week mark, my partner actually just said to me one day, "You've stopped crying." And I was literally a basket case. I'm a hairdresser as well, and I'd be hiding in the toilet with tears coming down my face. And I had no idea why I was crying. Nothing would trigger it. It was just my adrenal fatigue, I think, and my PTSD. And 5 weeks it took for my body, like I just stopped crying, and all of a sudden I just started to feel better and I started to see a bit more hope. And I've been on them 20 months strong now. My son's still on them. I've joined the business and I try and get everybody I know and love on these babies.
Oh, wow. That is just incredible, Mon. It's a roller coaster. Those two stories are like, oh my God. Okay, so, where to from here? Here's what I want to make sure, that I'm never over-promising and under-delivering. It's just fruits and veggies and berries and good fats. It's actually Mother Nature that's the miracle. They're not miracle pills. It's just all of the foods, and it's the ultimate truth. And how can it affect our mental health even? Our skin vitality, our outlook, our hope. And here's why. This is what really makes sense to me. What we eat every single day affects how we feel. Food affects our emotions. And when we are eating food with vibrancy, original food from the ground, from the trees, as God intended, that we've eaten for, eons, compared to the chemical processed, high preservative, mold, bacteria, heavy metals, all the toxins that we're surrounded by, of course it's going to accumulate and really affect our immune function. So the tiny miracle every day is just this boost of Mother Nature, and that shows up in vitality and in thoughts and how we feel and what we crave. I think the most important thing of this is it's not just a Band-Aid, as Kristine said. It actually is coming in and has you crave better. The better that you eat, the better that you crave. So I love this product. We could spend a whole hour talking only about the products, but for the purpose of the funds part of this call, you've heard from the girls, we often come into this business through the products, and then the business just makes sense. I wanted to get my products cheaper. I was a skeptic, a really, God honest, hand on heart skeptic. I loved the product. I had my own account to have the products cheaper, but I didn't really understand how the business worked or believed that I could do it. And so I'm just going to cover some of the major questions that many people have. Do you actually make money doing this? Do you have to be salesy? Do you have to hunt down all of your friends, right? Do you need a lot of time? Do you need an extra skill set? And so just to cover that, really quickly, here was my experience. I'll just mute everybody. And here was my experience. And this is kind of what a typical business looks like if you think about it. There's a boss at the top, and, there's entry-level admin workers, usually at the bottom. There's usually more of these positions and less leadership positions as you advance. So this was me in Telstra, the big corporation that I worked for 8-9 years. I gave my heart and soul to that corporation. In early, out late, not many holidays, not many pay rises. Eventually I got to about here. Guess how many women there were in these upper positions. There was only 3 in a corporation of, at that time, Telstra had over 10,000 plus employees. And in this top part, for women, there was 3 more positions. I did not want the position. I didn't envy them. I didn't want to be like them. They were kind of like hard-ass men, let's put it lightly. So I knew that that was not for me. I was not creating the financial freedom. I certainly was not creating a time freedom. I couldn't even imagine how I was going to create a family value-driven life in this model where I was working so hard. This affected my mental health. A lot like the ladies have said, when we have so much stress and we're not living our value-driven life, this begins to take a toll. So then I thought the answer was to create my own business, be my own CEO and boss, have employees, have a global, business of wine importing. And guess what? I had to do all the roles: accounting, promotions, sales, due diligence, labels, importing, exporting. Again, another nightmare for me. No financial freedom, so much stress that I just wanted to retreat. I wanted to give up on a career completely, and I wanted to stay at home being a mum. And then, of course, that was great for a short amount of time, but then I was yearning for more, and I just didn't know what way to go. What I love about this business, and what I really want to stress, is that everyone, it's more like this structure. It's not only a few people at the top making money and no one ever advancing and super competitive. It's the opposite. Everyone starts off at exactly the same position, and just like me, some come in to make $300 a month, some come in to make $1,000, some come in for life-changing money. After a few years, I saw that I could really create life-changing money and a global tribe, and everything in between. There's equal opportunity for every single person when they start in the business to create what they want around their own pace and around their own vision and values. That's what I understood really early on that excited me. Whether I had 5 hours to invest every week in this, or whether I had 50 hours because I was just so excited for what I could create. This was a business that matches my efforts, and it works around my values, which of course were family at that time, still are. But with 3 kids under 3.5, that takes up a lot of time, my friends, right? So, fast forward to the next question. Do I need to know a lot of people? Because this was, who's heard that if a work from home business, you've got to be aggressive, you've got to like hunt people down, you've got to be salesy. That was my number one reason that I could not see myself ever really doing a business like this. I was quite terrified of that. Now, here's exactly what happened and what I understood. My friend Lauren, who is one of my dear friends, she looked at me one day.
No, you don't want water?
Oops, I'm just going to mute all again. And let me show you what this was like for me. Here's Lauren. She introduced me to the products. I said, I love the products. I'll never go off them. I had no more migraines, no more sinusitis, no more depression. And my skin was better in my 30s than even in my 20s. That was enough for me to be a lifer. And she said, you know what, Linda, this $500 a month, you've got your mother and father on it. It's been dramatic for them, your sister and your brother and 3 of your friends. That is actually equivalent to $500 extra income every month. Like, wouldn't you prefer to have this coming into your household? And I said, excuse me, what? $500? Okay, I'm listening. What would I have to really be doing? She said, you're already doing the business. This is word of mouth marketing. It's just sharing your story. You're already doing that. You may as well be paid for it. So that's the first thing that made sense to me. The second thing that made sense to me was that I could do it in my stolen moments, and that it was just, she said, do you know any other women just like you who would love a bit of extra income, that have worked really hard for a lot of their life? They want time home with their family or another business on the side because one income generally is not enough in a household. Do you know anyone else like you That question was a game changer for me because I knew a lot of other women just like me. And so that's what I did. I told my friend Jane, I told my friend Davina, I rang my sister and I said, let's do this. Who better could I work with? And then pretty soon, two told two, not 200. I didn't go out and tell 200, but 2 to 3 people really, really expands very, very quickly. So look at this. Once you get that this is a numbers business and it's leveraging word of mouth and it's leveraging a product that works. So let's just look at the facts and figures of Juice Plus. It's the world's biggest selling nutritional product of its kind in the world. They've done over 15 billion in sales in 28 countries for the last 25 years with the Juice Plus product. The company's 48 years old with the same CEO and leadership team at the helm. This is a giant global business that's mission driven with a heart that allows you to be the entrepreneur in the driver's seat, but have all of this exceptional authenticity and experience and legacy company right behind you. So you get to do what you do best, which is take care of people. And behind you, you've got a company that ships the product. You never have to hold any stock. You never have to invest any more than a business to start, which is $167. $167 for your own business with us. This blows my mind. And by the time you've ordered 3 products, you've taken care of this. You got a free business already. So once I understood I've got nothing to lose, and I definitely do know some people that another $500 to $1,000 a month could be really beneficial for, I'm going to tell them. And so I did. I just tried it out. I flexed that little entrepreneurial muscle, and pretty soon I had a team. 2 turns into 4, turns into 8, turns into 16, turns into 32. By the end of my first year, I had around 50 in my team without really even knowing what I was doing, without really understanding what to do. I just knew to keep sharing from my heart my real story of why Juice Plus made an impact, why I'm passionate, and it just kept growing. So fast forward 10 years I've been doing this now. The abundance in gifts that it's given my husband and I, we no longer have to worry about money. We were caught in the financial crisis in Las Vegas over 10 years ago. We lost everything. We had to start from scratch. We were on one income. It was struggle street. I can get emotional remembering that time. And now my passion is helping others, whatever stage of life that they're in, to create more so they can live more of the life that they want to step into. Right? With a tribe that has your back, with mentoring, with a tribe that raises you up and that accepts you right where you are. You don't need to know anything extra and special. Right where you are, we can teach you everything you need to know as you need to know it. So that's the part that just still absolutely has me exploding. So I'm going to call on 2 quick business stories as well, because again, I can go on about this forever. I want to respect everyone's time today. So I'm going to call on Lisa. Lisa Lucas, I have not yet heard your story, honey, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm unmuting you right now. It's not allowing me. There you go. Go ahead, honey.
Thank you. Thanks very much for having me on. This is my first time on this event. I'm so excited. And I'm going to say really quickly before I jump into my story, I've been in healthcare. I'm going to get teary already. I've been in healthcare for 18 years and I have a great deal of respect for healthcare, but I have never heard stories like I get to hear through these events, and particularly today. I'm very emotional, very emotional. It's fantastic. And I was introduced to the product and it made sense to me being in healthcare. So I just put my entire family on it, but just purely because it made sense. But what the business has given me is quite overwhelming because I never expected it. So my husband and I have always both worked full-time, always relied on 2 incomes. And we were the epitome of getting debt. We were very, very good at it. Like, we were never going to be millionaires, but we were going to have $1 million worth of shit, whether we could have paid for it or not. We were sinking in it. And we had a dream that we always used to talk about, and it was to travel the country in a caravan. And it was one of those dreams that you think, yeah, that'd be awesome, but in the back of your mind you think that's just totally never going to happen. Particularly for me, it terrified me. I used to tell my husband, yes, that would be so amazing, and then quietly have a panic attack thinking, I can't think of anything worse. I wouldn't be at home, I wouldn't have the comfort. What would I do with the children? I can't homeschool. I'm not smart enough. Which is crazy. I've got 2 degrees. Of course I could homeschool. So we just sort of plugged away at life. And after being in the business for 18 months, not only financially did it open doors for us, but for me as a woman, it empowered me to say yes to things that I never would have said yes to before. I never looked for an opportunity. And it just came to me. It fell at my feet. And so all of a sudden doors were opening and I had the strength to just say, yes, I'm going to do it. My husband nearly wet his pants when I said, let's go around the country, let's do it. He was so excited. 8 months later, after I, dropped that little nugget on his feet, he said, we bought the van and we went. 3 children. My youngest was 4 weeks old, and everybody said, I don't know how you're going to do it. We spent 8 months on the road, and my husband went back to work 2 weeks after our first child was born. And after our second child was born, he went back to work 2 days after she was born. He spent 8 months with our son and didn't work a single day. It's a connection that we have, that he has with the kids, that we have together, that no one can take from us. And we have so many stories and adventures that we shared together. We laugh all the time. And Mick and I got to know our children, really know them, because we got to spend uninterrupted time with them that we had never been able to do before. It was the best time of our life. We got halfway around, decided we missed family, came home, and we're already planning the next one. And the kids can't wait. So it's changed our world. It has changed our world. And even better, when we did come home, I didn't have to go back to work full time. I now work part time, and my Mondays are about walking my kids to school, spending it with my baby, reading a book. I read a book this morning. My Mondays are fantastic. And then I get to be on here with these amazing ladies and be completely inspired. So if you think maybe not, just open your mind to the potential of life, because somebody put this opportunity in front of you. Have the courage to say yes, and you'll never regret it because of the doors it will open. And it's not just financial. It empowers you to say yes to life. And that's what it's done for me.
Wow. Yes, it does. Well done. Thank you so much. What a beautiful story. And one more. Here's another travel story that's going to blow your mind from another incredible healthcare professional and yoga teacher as well, Amanda, over from Colorado. Go, Amanda.
Oh, wow. Again, just amazing stories. Thank you all for just sharing. I'm honored to be on the call. My name is Amanda. And I do live in Denver, Colorado, and I'm a mom of 2 boys. They're 9 and 11. I have a great husband named John, and we are definitely a family of travelers. My husband he's part of a career that has allowed us to live in 2 different countries. When my little one was 10 months old and I had a 2-year-old, we moved to Tbilisi, Georgia, in the middle of the Soviet Union. And then when they were, I guess, 5 and 7, we actually moved to Uganda. And so we've had this amazing life of travel, and I was a physical therapist, and every time we moved, I had to quit my job. I had to pack up what I was passionate about and say goodbye to that and kind of reinvent myself every time we would move. And that was fun and exciting, but I definitely lost a little bit of who I was during those times. And I'll tell you, the last time I had to come back and actually get a job as a physical therapist, I remember John picked me up from my interview, and tears were running down my face, and he's like, didn't it go well? And I'm like, no, it went well. I'm definitely hired. But I was just at the point that I had outgrown it. And you know that point that you just know, like, oh, I don't want to go back to this. Like, I've outgrown it. I've meant for more. And again, like Linda said, I started looking for other things. I'm like, what could be this thing that I'm meant for? You know, I trained as this. I don't know how to do anything else. And so Juice Plus came in my life. I had no idea what it was. I'd never heard of the products, the business. I made a decision with my heart, not my head. I didn't even Google it, I don't think. I just hooked up with Linda and some amazing women. I was craving community. I wanted connection. I wanted to be with women who inspired me and lifted me up. And so I said, it was in the US, it's $50. I'm like, what do I have to lose? This sounds like a really great thing. So that was 5 years ago. I said yes. I signed up to a business that has now become truly just family. I've been able to grow as a leader. I think this business makes me better as a mom and a wife. You know, the personal development piece is incredible. You get free personal development. You get to be surrounded by women, again, that just lift you up and bring out the best of you. And then you get to pay it forward. You know, part of this business is building a team, attracting people that also want this. And when you bring that, when you up level yourself, you start attracting other women that want more of that too. And that's what I'm finding. You know, we landed back in Denver. I'm kind of reinventing myself here. And I'm finding I'm just being surrounded by really cool women. And I can't wait to share this with them. So that's my story. I don't know what the future holds as far as travel, but I love having a business that I can take with me anywhere. And it's just been one of the best decisions ever. So thanks, Linda.
Wow. Okay, so you can see the best part is I didn't even know Amanda, and we met through this business, and we've been on Zoom for the last 4 years, really just building this business together. Even when she lived in Uganda, this business can be built from anywhere. And it's the thing that I love the most is that everyone is touched on in some way. We rise by lifting each other up. And so this to me is the ultimate pay it forward business. This is when we take care of you. That no matter if you're uncertain, no matter if you know that you can do this or not, we have 3 team mantras and they mean a lot to me. The first is you're a blessing in this community and our team, whether you do a little or a lot. It doesn't matter. You just come on along and you're part of the tribe and you will feel what that really means. The second is you go at your own pace. Some people are doing part-time, sometime, almost no time, or full-time. And it's what you want, when, and how you want to do it. And the third is you're acceptable right as you are. We often find that we welcome in women when they're at an impasse in life, when they're wondering what else to do. And we just get to love on you and fill you up and show you the potential. And it's so much a business of empowerment. It's disguised as Juice Plus. It's disguised as a network marketing, word of mouth marketing business. And what it really is that invitation to really create the life of your dreams, your masterpiece life, along with many others. So thank you everyone for joining. We're well over time today because the stories were amazing and we needed to hear all of it. So thank you for your patience, everyone tuning in. And thank you for everyone that gave their heart presenting. I'm so honored to be on this journey with you. So what if this could actually work and this could be something to really bring some fulfillment to your life as well? We hope to answer more questions. See you, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Bye.